Welcome back to Talkin Baseball. We hope you're gearing up for a fantastic 4th of July. We're going to talk about some gambling and bets and baseball. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Baseball. My name's Jimmy. Sitting right next to me is Jake. We got Trevor Plouffe coming to you from California, and we are talking baseball and some bets for this shortened 60-game season. But first, Jake, can you give us a year-by-year history of your 4th of July celebrations?
Let's see. Spent a lot of years at the Middlebury Recreation Area playing in the 3v3 basketball tournament, and then going up to the friend Kenny and Greg's home. A lot of wiffle ball, some drinks as we got older, and yeah, just some good times throughout the years. Beer party type weekends.
Wow!
So excited to get back to Connecticut. You know, if Trevor Plouffe was on time today, you know, I'd be a little less clammy because I have to catch a ride home with some friends. But, you know, now I'm playing tight. I'm playing tight, Trevor.
Tight playing. Trev, what's your 4th of July history? You just play baseball every year?
First, I need to address what Jake just came at.
Right here.
I was on the grill, okay? I did lamb, French lamb.
Dig it.
Did that on the grill, and then I had to wait for my tri-tip to get to temp so I could sear them off.
How do you know the lamb was French?
Because I'm French.
Okay. Plouffe.
Yeah. But yeah, 4th of July has always been baseball. Last year was my first year here, and we went to like a beach and watched fireworks. This year is going to be different, obviously. We'll be at home. Don't tell anybody, but I have some fireworks.
No.
Small ones, safe, small ones. But that's what I'll be doing.
I was trying to find your numbers on 4th of July, which there is a way to do it, but I don't have it. But
I think you know what? I always love the, like the different holiday games where you got to wear a different jersey. So 4th of July is awesome because you had the cool Stars and Stripes thing. I was big on Memorial Day. Jackie Robinson Day, I have a few homers. Always loved that. It felt special to me.
They should have that stat, special jersey stat.
Special Jersey Day.
You know, Father's Day, Memorial Day,
Mother's
Labor Day, Mother's Day, Jackie Robinson Day. Okay.
I bet my numbers were better than Jeter's on those days.
I don't know.
I wouldn't make that bet.
I wouldn't make
That'd
that
be
bet.
a bad bet.
He's pretty good.
I was saying defensively.
Baseball Reference is my very good friend.
Everyone loves those defensive holiday stats.
Yeah, those are niche. I DM'd Baseball Reference today because I needed help finding stuff for the show, and they responded and helped me, so I can find out.
Shout out.
I was like, hey, do a special jersey day. You know? Are
It'd
the Padres better when they wear those camo ugly shits? I think it's like every Sunday for them.
You think those are ugly?
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind them.
You're hard-pressed to show me something that's camo and have me not think it's ugly.
Wow.
Okay. Remind me to never wear camo around you.
Yeah, happy 4th of July to the troops. Jesus.
Well, I mean, troops can wear camo, but I don't think, you
man.
know. I've never seen the outfit and been like, yeah, that's a fucking fire outfit.
Tough break.
Yeah, camo gross.
Tough break.
Leave camo for the camouflage.
Do you like other like different jerseys, or are you just like boring because you're a Yankees fan?
No, I like
only want pinstripes.
Well, for the Yankees, I only want pinstripes, but I like a lot of the Father's Day and Mother's Day and all those iterations. I like when they put the American flag in the logo of the hat. You know, like it'll be like the W letters for the Nationals, and it's the flag in the letters. I like that. That's cool.
I'd like to talk to whoever designs all these things because a lot of the time they miss.
Yeah, his name is Henry.
Big. It's really easy, like you said, just the Stars and Stripes thing in the logo's classic. Like probably just stick to that every year. There's been a couple different renditions of it that are just kind of
Yeah, it's hard. All right, let's get into this. We're going to go through some of the prop bets that are fun, some of the team over-unders, Everyone's got a couple bets they want to lay out on the table here. We're going to start with the one that Trev's already tweeted about. As a company, we're going to be all in on this.
Hammering.
Will a player hit more than 20 home runs? I'm a hard yes. Jake's a hard yes. Trev, you're a yes because you're a company guy and the company's betting on this, but you're actually a no. Would you like to present your side first?
I will. I will be betting along with the company because I do think I want to root for that. Like, obviously, everyone wants to root for the overs. That's the easy way out. But, I've been a casual gambler for quite some time, and you don't want to be on the easy side. That's just how it goes. This bet particularly, we're talking about 20 homers in 60 games. I've said that I don't think guys are going to play 60 games. I think we're going to be, maybe a few guys will do that, but around league-wide, I would say of the starters, average is going to be around 50 to 52 games. Doesn't leave a lot of room for error. Guys are going to have to get hot and stay hot. So is it the field, and that helps? Obviously, yes. But in this season, when we're doing this spring training where guys aren't going to really have true at-bats and then go straight into real at-bats, I think guys are going to come out a little cold, and we're going to settle around like a 17-homer champ this year. That's my guess. But I will be rooting for the over, no doubt.
Okay. Jake?
Yeah, I'll fluff Trevor up before I put him down. I think the last time this hasn't happened in the first 60 games, and Jimmy did the research on this, but I believe it was 2018. Otherwise, it's happened almost every year for the past decade. I think it was 2010 before that.
Yeah, in the last 10 years, we've had 13 players hit more than that. Hold on. In the last 10 seasons, we've had 14 players hit 20 or more home runs within the first 60 games. Now, we're not talking a random 60-game stretch. We're talking break camp, first 60 games of their team. So not the first 60 games for the individual player, first 60 games on the schedule. We've had 14 guys do it in the last 10 years. Every year besides 2018, like Jake said, and in 2018, Mike Trout hit 19. And in 2018, 3 guys hit 19. So it's not like it was very close. And there's another year in there, I forget, 2011 or 2010. So 2 out of the last 10 years, we haven't seen it in the first 60 games, but we've seen 14 guys do it.
But what I am saying that to help the underside is that did happen in 2018. 2017 and 2019, the balls had a little gusto in them. And
shout out Meredith.
I think when you start going back further than that, I think the game has evolved so much between every team having relievers come out that just pump a 98-plus fastball and drop a 90-dick slider. Like, I think from the pitching aspect, you can play that card early, that the pitchers are going to be more ready than the hitters. And basically, if any hitter has a bad week and a half out of these next 2 months, they can take themselves out of the race. That being said, I just think there's too much talent in baseball, and guys get hot, man. And I just think it happens for no other reason than guys get hot and do it. And the bigger thing is, because if you extrapolate this over the year, 120 games, this would be 40 home runs. So it'd be like a
54 homer pace.
54 home run season. And guess what? That's really hard to do. Very few people have done that in the history of baseball.
2 players since 2003 have hit 54 homers or more.
But the reason it's hard is because it takes place over 162. Jimmy has been leaning hard into the 60 games to start a season, which I agree with to a degree. I do think weather is a big factor for a lot of guys, especially, some of the Latin players and things like that who don't like some of the April baseball and such. But I just think for 2 months, a lot of dudes in Major League Baseball can get hot. And, if I'm playing the odds there, if I genuinely think there's 20 guys that can do this, I'm saying, hey, 1 out of 20 is going to be able to do it when you think of some of the great power hitters in the game.
Yeah. In the last 20 years, 37 guys have done it. So
you can cherry pick stats all day long. And this is something that we're going to have to talk about.
It's not really cherry picked. It's exactly the situation we're betting on.
Do you want me to cherry pick one for you?
Sure, but I'm saying what I'm presenting you isn't cherry picked.
This really isn't either, but it's essentially what you're doing is helping your argument via stats. There's also stats that could go against it. Here's one of them.
Okay.
One player in the last 4 seasons has hit more than 20 to the first 60 games. Just one. And that's with juice balls. So, I will be rooting for someone to hit 21 home runs.
What was that? How many?
One player
has
in the
hit
last 4 years. 4 seasons.
That's not true, though.
I'm reading it right here. I mean, it could be
Mark Trumbo did it. Pete Alonso did it. Cody Bellinger did it. Yes, Aaron Judge did it. Christian Yelich did it. So I don't know what you're reading, but
I'm reading.
I just told you how many guys have done it. I'm going to send you what I'm reading
right now. I mean, maybe this is completely wrong, which it could be. But this is
4
what I'm
seasons
reading.
is 16, 17, 18, 19, right?
Yeah, I'm going to send it over.
It's been done 5 times by 5 different players.
Well, then what I'm reading is completely wrong, and I apologize for that.
Is yours 60 games played by the guys or 60 by the team?
By the team.
And I don't know. We've got conflicting information early.
But I'm looking at the stat site.
Right.
You're reading an article that we're relying on some other jamoke.
Yeah. You're the jamoke running the stats site. So.
No, I'm not. Baseball Reference gave me the page.
Right, but you punched it in. I'm just saying.
I didn't punch it in. They sent me the page.
I'm going to send it over because I'm curious to see what you think.
Okay.
It's a pretty reputable.
I can click on these 5 names and go see what I'm looking at, but.
All right. We're betting the over, everybody. Bet responsibly. Root these guys on with us. I think I'll be happy with 21, obviously. Maybe someone will just blow it out of the water and hit 25. I don't know.
It's going to be a goal for some guys, man. Like if you're sitting at 15 with
I don't think it's a goal.
I think what if you're out of it? Are you going to be trying to up your batting average? You're going to try to lead the league in homers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm cross-checking this. I don't know why I'm questioning the website, but 5 guys have done it in the last 4 years.
Well, then okay. I believe you. You're a Baseball Reference guru, baby.
It's the best site in the entire world.
All right, let's move on.
Cool. So we all think that's going to happen. I don't think the 400 is going to happen, but I'm going to bet on it because I want to have a very hard rooting interest in it. As a company, we'll place that bet. Maybe we'll put a little less money on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, maybe the fun game is, and maybe this is something we could just do with the Jomboy media people, is what will the league leader be at after the first month? Something like that. Maybe we do a T-shirt giveaway or something. That could be fun. I'm just rooting for someone to give it hell, just to piss off everybody, just so everyone can come out with their article like, this 400's not going to count. And it's like, yeah, everybody knows. Because it's literally a third of the games, so easy, guys.
That is definitely gonna happen.
I hope somebody gives it a run just to scare the old timers. But yeah, and by the way, betting wise, like the payout is so bad. I'd rather put $10 on someone doing it so that if it does hit, it's incredible.
Do you remember what they were?
Then put $100.
Yeah, I have
and
it right here.
and if you put $100 down, you win what? $12, something like that.
It's minus 900 for no.
So it'd be what, $11?
Yeah, you get.
So to risk $100,
you get $10
on
on $100.
I mean,
if you really need $11 and you have 100 just lying around,
it's a play. But I mean,
if you're sitting there with $100 in your wallet and you're thinking, "Fuck, I need 111," place the bet.
And again, it's the gambler's conundrum because I'm put that 100 down and let's go big, baby. But. Yeah, I mean, don't see it happening. Have some fun with it. Put $1 down just so you can root for it to happen. How about that? That's good advice.
Put $1 down. That's what we're basically doing. I'm not going to do $1.
Put the minimum down so you can root for someone to hit 400.
Yeah, that's what I said. I want a rooting interest in it. I think it's fun.
Okay, let's talk about this a little bit. Give me
Trevor.
Your option, your guy that you think has a chance.
I don't have that. I'd have to really look at it. Jervis Solarte.
Yeah. Dude, that's
You don't want to
tough.
say Altuve. Look at you. You want to say Altuve,
No,
but you
I'm
won't
not
say
sure.
Altuve.
Altuve was going to be the first name off my lips.
He's the leader, I
and
think.
the other oddball is probably another guy you wouldn't think I'd say, Trevor, but it would be like someone like Devers from the Red Sox.
What is that voice?
Like that's your voice. That's how you sound in the mic.
DJ LeMahieu?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously got great hit tools, but I think someone like someone in
Anderson's
Fenway.
BABIP was bad.
Still talking. Like someone at Fenway who can just play monster ball. Like if they can get hot and Devers is just crushing it, and you can do something like that. I mean, to pick the guy who's going to hit 400. How about our guy Arias from the Twins? How about a little cheddar there, baby?
I would say he's probably the most well equipped to do it. But look, that's so tough. It's a ridiculous ask.
Near
it's
impossible.
A ridiculous. I'll be honest with you. Over 162 games, I don't think that ever happens again.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's like a world 10 years from now where guys just throw harder and harder, and there's more homers and strikeouts, and there are more Arias guys that come up and are just trying to slapdick it through shifts and stuff. That'd be a fun little bounce back for the game, but
Yeah.
that 400 number's a big one.
Crazy. We'll sprinkle some on there just for fun.
Fun.
All right, let's move on to the team over-unders. We're not going to do every single team. We just have a couple here. I can go first because we're talking about the Twins. I'm hammering the over on the Twins, Trev, and it's more for Minnesota's pride. If they don't get the over, I'm embarrassed for them.
I think they're a hell of a team.
It's 34.5. 34.5 is the over-under. I mean, I think they should have the best record in the AL if they are who everyone thinks they are. They have one of the weaker schedules for a team that's as good as they are. They can easily win the AL if they want to. If it's a real season, if it's not any, the crapshoot aspect is always there. I was expecting their over-under to be around 37, which is around 100 wins, which they did last year, right? And, they're playing less good teams, and they're playing more bad teams now. So I got the Twins over, and I think it's even low. I think, they don't hit it. I'm embarrassed for them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Embarrassed is strong. I mean,
there's a lot of Twins fans coming at me all the time because they're telling me that I hate the Twins.
Right. Well,
If-
and that's what you're saying.
I think they can do it, and I think
The
they
White
should
Sox
do it.
are a lot better, and the White Sox can be a lot better.
Yes.
So that's the biggest change in division. And, I mean, it's just the 60-game season. That's why I take out the embarrassment part. I mean, you have a bad week to start, and the White Sox are good.
Yep.
Like, that 34 number is perfectly in play. So,
Yeah, I might be doing a little hyperbole with the embarrassed,
okay.
but they should hit that over. I thought it was going to be higher than that.
Okay.
Trev?
I have. We're doing overs, right?
Whatever
Let's
you
do
want.
it.
Just choose a team.
Team
and-
stuff. We'll call this the team area.
Okay, I'll start with my over, and it's a little bit of a leap of faith in this organization, but like the time has been coming for a long time for them to be good and be what they are. They've had a zillion guys in the top 100 prospects. They have
Mariners.
some decent starting pitching. They've invested a lot of money into this ball club, and I think it's, at least for this bet, going to pay off this year. I'm going to go the over 31 with the San Diego Padres.
Okay, interesting. I've been
That's
thinking
one game over 500. The NL West is not very deep. The AL West has some good teams, but again, not too bad. I think they can sneak out a season where they're one game over 500, and I think I'll cash that bet.
this is. I've been debating hopping on the Padres train. I like it. I mean, Tatis for a full year. If he can stay healthy, like he could get some sneaky MVP love. We'll get there in a little bit. Yeah, man, I'd like them to get one more bat. I've been pushing for them to sign Puig thing. I think he'd actually
like
be a
that.
fit, and he'd make that team really fun. I mean, you obviously can't do that right now. There's going to be a team in the NL West that's a layup. Like, it's either going to be the Padres, the D-backs, or the Rockies. One of those teams is going to win a lot of games, and that's the fun of betting. So, yeah, I like that.
Thank you. You're up,
yeah,
kiddo.
I'm kind of a shrug on it. Like I could see it happening pretty easily, but I could also see it not happening. So I don't have a hard take either way. The pitching needs to like really hold up.
A lot of young. A lot of
A
youth.
lot of young.
And look, if we're talking about a season where distractions are at a minimum for these young teams, it's this year.
I think it's the opposite, which is.
How so?
I think distractions are all-time high for teams. Like Boone's press conference today was, the only thing I'm focusing on is making sure that we don't let all of the distractions of this season get in the way of playing. And I just did. He said he did a whole meeting with every player. Make sure you hold each other accountable because there's going to be a lot of distractions this year. So,
what are the distractions?
Dude, getting tested twice a day, monitoring your health nonstop. You can't spit seeds. It's going to feel the least like baseball that these professional baseball players have ever felt. They're played the game.
There's no distractions. You can't go out.
The whole health thing is a distraction, Trev. Like, they're not going to be able to exist on the field as they have their entire lives as baseball players.
I just agree to disagree because I think everyone's going to be a good boy in the hotel room. There's not going to be late nights out on the town. And because they have to hold each other accountable and not do all this stuff, I think it's going to play well for the younger teams.
I think the speculation is fun because you could go either way with this. You could go young guys are better this year because they're young and loose and doing it. You could go old guys because old guys are prepped and they're going to be professional and do their thing. There's less distractions off the field in theory. There could potentially be a ton with the COVID stuff and more so reporters and hammering that type of stuff into the ground. So
the thing is, there's no reporters. There's no reporters this year. You're going to have to do like a Zoom press conference, one or two guys after the game. The rest of the guys don't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah. You know what I like about the Padres? Their bullpen. They picked up a lot of bullpen arms. They got arms. Pomerantz. They got Pagan. Is that how you say his name? Emilio?
Yeah.
And
Pagan, Kirby Yates at the end.
Obviously, but Pomerantz and Pagan are new. Yeah. And if this is
and they've got a bunch of other young guys. So if you have one
this
take
is
a
a
leap
weapon
this year
out of the pen and stuff, that'll help them.
They've got arms, and Paddock's. Like, does Paddock take a leap? Do any of their other young arms take a leap?
I'll put the Padres as a first week team.
Okay,
like,
if they see that first week.
The first 2 weeks, if they get out to a bad start, I think they may never recover because they're like, hey, it's a development year anyway. If they get out to a hot start in the first 2 weeks, like the Mariners did last year, like think of how much that's going to help a team. Like the Mariners got 2 weeks. If you're like 14 and whatever, you're going to be like, oh, shit, guys, we're halfway there, basically.
Yeah.
Just win 14 more, and we're in the playoffs.
I think every team last year had a stretch of 60 games that they were around 500, except the Tigers and the Orioles.
Yeah.
We still have no schedule.
Right.
It's supposed to come next week, which is exciting.
And that'll be fun. My two team ones that jumped out, I'm going to keep it on I-95. The Orioles are at 20.5, and I'm going under. And I just think the reason why is
the East.
In this shortened season, you're penciling in whatever wins you can. When teams are playing the Orioles, they're not normally in years you're saying like, hey, let's get our 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4. Let's win this series against the Orioles. They're a bad team. This year, teams are going to be saying we need to win every game against them. Yeah. So I think the Orioles are just going to get punched in the mouth.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
I don't know if it was last show or it was 2 shows ago. Both of you were saying the exact opposite thing. You're saying we can save Cole, Tanaka, and Paxton against the Orioles.
You misheard me, and I didn't correct you at the time. I did not. I said that save them in the NL East. Make sure you win the AL East. Like
Jimmy's all about the division, like the actual AL East.
Like the Yankees need to go 9-1 against the Orioles.
Jimmy thinks a game against Tampa is essentially worth double than a game against the Braves this year.
It is.
In the AL East.
Yeah.
So that's that.
I think a game against the Orioles is more important than a game against the Nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sure, in division, yeah.
And
that doesn't make that much sense, man, because there's no divisional record. It's just overall record. So
yeah, but I mean the Orioles aren't a threat, so it doesn't work there. But for the Rays and the Red Sox, you give them a loss when you beat them. It's worth 2 points.
Sure, I mean, whenever you play somebody, yeah.
Well, in divisions, not for the Nationals.
And I fought that a little bit because I think the season's too tight as well, but I do get it. And
I like that one.
You'll see some of that. I just think, dude, think about all the good teams on the East Coast. The Nats, the Mets, the Braves, the Phillies, the Yankees, even the Jays, the Red Sox, and the Rays. All of those teams are saying when we play the Orioles, we
better
need
win
to
8.
sweep.
We better win 8.
So I think the Orioles might get tossed this year. So I'm going under on the O's, and I'm keeping it in the Beltway, and I'm going to go over for the Nats. I don't love the number 34, but I talked myself into the pitching thing, and I just think they've got horses, and I think those are very much going to play this year.
I loved your thought process that the hangover, they got to rest, man.
Yeah.
They got to drink the water, have the Tylenol, and take a nap. They're good to go again. There's no World Series hangover.
The Mets lost Syndergaard. The baby Braves are going to be good. They did lose Donaldson. They replaced him with Ozuna, but I think what Donaldson did last year is more impactful. And I don't know. That Nats pitching staff, I mean, Scherzer and Strasburg don't have to do it over a full year. Like I think those
Corbin
guys are just
as a
going to
3.
shove. So I'll go with it. I'm basically flip flopping on what was my whole offseason take of the Nats pitching staff and old men not being able to carry it out. But I actually love them in this shortened season.
I'm going to keep it with Jake because you're talking about the NL East, so I'll stay there.
Sure.
It's not an over-under for a team bet. I didn't have an under, but I don't know how to phrase this. Don't hold me to this, but I'm interested in this bet.
Okay.
So it's I think it's plus 200. And it's will the Phillies make the playoffs? And
Okay.
what I'm doing is just putting trust in Girardi, because if there's two things Joe Girardi's good at as a manager, one, navigating a bullpen to make sure you have arms when you need arms at the pen, which I think is going to be crucial for a short season. Two, keeping his players on fucking edge and making sure they understand every game is important. It's why he got run out of New York and they didn't want him anymore, because he made the Yankees too tight.
Yeah.
They were wound too tight. Every game, they said he made it feel like it was do or die. That may play. We've also seen Joe Girardi take some god-awful Yankee teams, 2013, 2014, even 2015 in a way, and make them 90-game winners or competitors. So I don't like it. It's not a lock, but I'm interested in, if all they have to do is get a wild card spot, I think Joe might be able to wring out a bunch of wins out of that team.
And keep in mind, the expanded postseason is still on the table.
Well, that would change all of these bets.
I know. It's crazy. They're still talking about, like, there's still time to come to an agreement. There hasn't been a mandation just yet. So that would be interesting. They're one of my favorite teams to watch this year because, like, they're in win now mode. They went out and spent $1 zillion on Bryce Harper. They spent a ton of money on Andrew McCutchen. They haven't really received much out of those two acquisitions yet. But these guys are, I mean, Bryce Harper could be the MVP this year, and no one would bat an eye.
Is D-Rob healthy now?
A lot of people get mad.
D-Rob is healthy?
I don't know. I'm asking.
He is. And
He's supposed to be coming back, at least, yeah.
And when we talked to him, he said he was like, I'm on path to crash.
If there's one team, and, like, obviously I have a little bit of a history with these guys, if there's one...
Yeah, but when we talked to him at spring training, he said he was going to be ready way before the expected return date. And I don't know if there's an update.
We have to check that out. But this team is, like, they're going to be in it to win it. To get to the postseason, they are going to be playing with that fire because they were a disappointment last year.
Yeah.
You know, in a season when you had World Series expectations and then just didn't happen, whether it was from injuries, people not living up to their potential, whatever it was. They're hungry this year, and they have a bunch of guys, a bunch of kind of like alpha dudes that, like, know that happened last year and they don't want it to happen again. So, like, those clubhouses, you're going to have that feeling in every clubhouse, but this one it's going to be emphasized, like you're saying. Even Joe Girardi's going to be pushing them. And if I know Harper, like, he's going to be leading the charge in that clubhouse, like, wanting to get to the playoffs. He has a chip on his shoulder. The Nationals won the World Series last year. He came out and said he was very happy for them. I'm sure he was, but let me tell you something. That's got to hurt.
Yeah. Robertson says he's not ready, but he thinks he'll be back halfway through, or he's like a month out, he said. Something like that. So he'll be around. Yeah, I mean, I like it because you're getting a return on the bet, too.
The pitching's just scary, and they've basically got to be better than one of the Nats or the Braves, and I can't see that. I mean, let me say, I can see anything in a 60-game season, but that lineup needs to be, like, deadly, and their two studs, Nola and Wheeler, have to be complete studs.
Yep.
Which, hey, all of that can happen, but, yeah. But that's why it's got a decent payout, so I like that.
Yeah. Did you have another team, Trev?
I mean, look, I'm going to go the same way that Jake went with the Orioles. If you look at the Central Division, you see who's there. You got the Tigers. They're just not a really good baseball team, man.
Yeah.
And they're at 21.5 over/under. Seems like easy pickings right there with that under. You know,
and baseball,
teams are going to be fighting the entire
that
way. Yeah, I mean,
baseball's been trending that way. Like the Astros, Yankees have put up big win numbers in recent years, and other baseball teams are fine with quote unquote tanking. Like, and I feel like Vegas kind of hasn't realized that yet.
A team like the Tigers is going to use this as a development year. They're going to put some guys in the position in the big leagues to have some at bats that maybe aren't ready, but they want to get them some exposure to big league at bats. When you're doing that throughout the season all year, it's not going to be good for you. I love Gardenhire. Great guy. He knows what he's in for there. He knows that he's there to help these guys develop. And probably by the time that they get good, he's going to retire. But that looks to me like I just like when you brought up the Orioles and I'm looking through this again, I saw the Tigers. I'm like, that's the same story for the Tigers.
Yeah. It's true.
Maybe a little bit lesser of a division in the Centrals, but there's still enough good teams there. And like,
they don't get to play
I think
themselves.
the Tigers might be worse than the Orioles.
The only difference is the Royals. The Royals aren't going to be going in and saying, like, we got to get our wins against the Tigers, because I think the Royals also don't care about winning that much either. So those are the only 10 games, which makes up a good chunk of the 60-game schedule, where I think literally every team, even the baby Jays right now, because they got all that pitching and all that young talent, even they think they can get a wild card spot if they just crush the Orioles. So I do slight difference, but I agree. I mean, everyone's going to do it. But those 10 games against the Royals, maybe they don't care.
Me Reiki.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. What website was it? Bovada?
Bovada. We're getting all our numbers from Bovada for now.
And they gave individual batting average over-unders, which are so ridiculous and silly. I took an angle and did some research, but Jake, you said you had one that was staring you down.
So I've got two. I've got one I love and one that's got a pinstripe twist to it. The one I love, a guy that I know Plouffe tastes.
Ew. I don't know if you can use it like that.
We're tasters. We're a pro-taster pod, dude.
But it's usually taste yourself.
Don't
not
make it
taste
weird.
Other
I'll
dudes.
taste other dudes.
Okay.
Paul Goldschmidt.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Without you guys looking, what do you think the over/under on Goldie's batting average?
285.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
They have it at 275. He's in years he's played over 100 games, he's only been under 275 once. It was last year, and it was his first year with the Cardinals. I think, he was adjusting to a new place. I mean, Goldschmidt, I could give him a shout-out in the MVP if I wanted to. But, dude, look at his body of work. Like, 275, I'm all over that. And the other one that I had was I threw DJ LeMahieu in there. They have him at 290. He had a really good year last year. I don't think he can replicate that because it was such a special year. But with the dudes who are going to be behind him in the Yankees lineup and just his ball-to-bat skills, like I think he's going to be over 290. 290 is almost my floor for LeMahieu.
Okay.
I like the Goldschmidt. I do.
I think Bovado is using the same research department that I used.
Uh-oh.
Because Paul Goldie's a slow starter.
He has been.
Yeah.
And then he picks it.
And then he goes nuts.
Yeah.
Which I'll play the weather card there. He just likes a little heat, baby.
Yeah, it's because, yeah. So that's how I did a lot of my research for this. Like, I looked at Freddie Freeman. His over-under's 295, pretty high. In 2017, his first 60 games, he had a 316 batting average. 2018, 328 batting average. 2019, 306. He's been well over 295 the last 3 seasons in his first 60 games of the season. He's a good starter. He plays really well the first 2 months of the season. So I'm going to go over, which is it's a gamble because that's a high one to go over. That's how I did my research on this. I just looked at guys' first 60 games throughout their career. Who's a hot starter? Because, if Teixeira was on this, you'd bet the under no matter what it is. One of the slowest starters you'll find in baseball. The other one is Red Sox. Benintendi. They have him at 275. Also phenomenal first couple months guy. Last 3 years, 281, 298. So I'd taken the over there. And JBJ for the Red Sox.
Ooh.
They have him at 240. Last season, it was 199. Season before that, it was 181. There's 1 year where it was something. Just play defense, JBJ, and you'll be fine. So I'm taking the under on JBJ, 240.
Trevor?
I hate talking negatively about people.
I didn't want to do any unders. I like that you have an angle.
Yeah.
I like that you have an angle. I do believe in something to the startup. I do genuinely believe in the Heat to a degree. And the only thing that I would flip, I wouldn't take the JBJ is, if I'm someone who's not necessarily known as a hitter, this year I'm using as my dream season. If I'm JBJ, I'm saying, I'm about to hit 3 bills. And then I might even roll my ankle and sit out a couple days.
You don't know that maybe they're telling
that's
him
because I'm a total schlub.
You're out there for defense, JBJ. Calm down.
I got one.
Okay.
And I don't like to do this. This guy's from my area. We don't know each other that well. Obviously familiar with him. But he's new on the Red Sox. He's a really good defender.
Okay.
But this is tough for me to say. Kevin Pillar is listed at 270 over-under, and I'm going to have to lean on the under there. He's only once in his career hit over 270. So, to me, it's a fishy line, which usually you stay away from, but numbers support the under like crazy here. So 270. I will put that down as a bet that I'd like to take. Doesn't mean he's going to be a bad offensive player. It just means that 270 is going to be... It'll be one of his best years.
Why do they have it at 270?
Batting average.
You're right. That's a fishy line.
It's very fishy. And then you go into the East. I mean, he's gonna be facing some good pitching. So, last year he had a pretty good year with the Giants. But again, if I'm looking through here, and his batting average only one time, and that was in 2015, he hit 278. Everything else has been right around 250, 260.
My research in his first 60 games, in the last 4 seasons, he's never above 270.
Yeah. So I saw that kind of jumped out at me.
Last 6 seasons, he's never been above 270 in his first 60 games, nor has he ever been above 270 in a full season. Is that what you're telling me?
One time.
Once.
2015, he had 278.
The fuck is that line?
Vegas always knows.
I know.
If they hit on that line, if it's the over right around 270, that's fucking weird.
270 is a pretty good batting average, okay? Obviously, everyone's always 300, 300. 300's a joke. If you hit 300, you're, on fire all year. 270 is, that's a really good year. And then you look at kind of what he's done.
Well, in his simulated games right now, he started hot for the Red Sox, got traded.
He did.
To the Mariners.
Damn. Big trade.
Yeah, his simulations are hot. Is that because
Why are they doing simulated trades?
You never know.
He had a great spring training.
Yeah. I think I'll just put weird how my brain thinks about it is that let's say someone's normally a 250 hitter and we'll use that as the for whatever this year. If you're normally a 250 hitter and you get an extra hot 2 weeks, you get a hot 2 weeks in this season, you are a 270 hitter. I think that's kind of...
That's a spin zone.
Yeah, it's a weird Jakey spin, but no, I mean, all of the numbers
say... If you get cold for 2 weeks, you're a 220 hitter.
All of the numbers say no. Exactly. All of the numbers say no, which makes me scared of Vegas. Which basically has Pillar hitting 295 in my head.
He might. I mean, that's what the projections have him at right now.
It's weird,
The
man.
OOTP. But that one stood out to me because I saw that, and like I said, I'm familiar with him, kind of follow him, and 270s. That's it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, weird.
I hate doing unders with this. I want to root for guys.
Yeah.
I did overs on 2 guys, but JBJ was like, what are we looking at here? Freddie Freeman though, and I do think the heat and the hotness, Jake.
Ooh.
I do like that more for like extra base hits and home runs, like turning doubles into
Okay.
homers. Like I think that's a good argument for the 20
Okay.
homers in a season,
I
which
like
we're
it.
all on, but Trev's
You
half
like
not
it.
on.
Gosh, I want to give a over. Now I got to look through and give an over because I feel so bad.
Find an over.
Just-
I'll scroll and land on a player, and we have to give an
I
instant.
got one already.
Okay,
I got one
done,
already.
done.
I mean, I can't believe this number either.
Unbelievable.
This guy's a good hitter.
So good.
Friend of the program.
David Dahl.
The Moose.
Where they got Moose at?
Guess.
I would guess 275.
255.
Ooh. Moose,
The Moose can
stakes?
hit. If there is one thing this guy can do,
He hits.
he's a hitter. He's a ball player. That's all he likes to do. He's gonna hit over 255.
Staying in the same
that bet.
division?
I was gonna
come on.
say,
That bet.
like you
I
got
like
traded,
that,
but it's the
Trev.
same division.
That's shocking to me. It's a 255.
He's shocked.
I am going to text Moose and say I am putting a decent amount of money on you to hit over 255. Please do not disappoint me.
Trev, last year, his first 60 games, 275. Year before that, 270. Year before that, 282. What you doing?
Come on, Vegas.
This is fishy. I feel like I got two locks.
Tell
I
him.
think
Tell
Bovada just
Moose
didn't do
he's
any
gotta
research.
hit over 260 this year, or Teddy's going to state school.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
That's how much
Yes,
cheese. That's how much cheese you're betting on him.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, those 2 that I gave, I am
Enjoy the
stoked
free
on that.
money, people. Gambler
I still have to do
pod.
research if I need to officially retire to be able to
Okay.
place bets.
Sure.
Maybe.
I'll be making a call to my agent today.
Okay.
All right, so we're just going to move on to the awards. And if you guys have takes, give them. If not, we'll just let you know what Vegas thinks. We got the MVP, American League MVP. We did this on last episode. Trout's the favorite by like so much.
It's
And then
even money, basically.
Yeah.
10 to win 10 for Trouter, which is insane.
Then they have a Yankee next. They have Judge or Glaber as being the next 2, but it jumps up a lot. Do you have any sneaky ones? Any value picks here, or should we just move forward?
I think we talked about the best value last time. It was
Yeah,
Shohei
I do
Ohtani.
think that's still good.
He's a good trick card.
Do they have him listed here? I see him. Yeah, he's plus 1,800. Hasn't moved. I think that is. Obviously, this is a crapshoot when you're talking about who's going to win one individual award. But I think if I was just sprinkling money on something like this, and now I'm looking, oh man, everything I've ever said is against what I'm about to say. But Garrett Cole at plus 3,500, that's not a bad pick.
It's an interesting twist. If
So, but I'll still go Shohei Ohtani at plus 1,800 is one that I think you could look at.
Again, here you start looking at dark horses. The 2 guys that kind of jumped out to me were Jose Ramirez, a guy who's got some top 5 MVP seasons, and he gets hot. Like he has stretches where he gets hot. He can turn it on. I think his last 60 games last year, he had a 1-something OPS. And if he leads Cleveland to the Central or something like that, he's a guy who gets hot. It's a crazy payout. And then, I already did one pinstripe thing. Gary Sanchez, I won't really say
No,
it.
don't just save it because I'm doing something for them.
Okay, I'll save that. Matt
Oh, my
Olson.
goodness.
Matt Olson's got some stats, and he's gorgeous. So those are my deep cuts.
Okay.
Love Maddie.
Gary Sanchez plus 5,000.
Gary Sanchez plus 5,000. Okay. You want to make some money. Trev,
Yes.
how are you doing? I'm stalling right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I could go on and give you some more.
Yeah, give us
look
another
at
one.
this. Best friend of the pod. National League Cy Young.
Oh, wow.
Jack Flaherty is 3rd in Vegas odds to win the Cy Young at plus 650. Oh no, he's fourth because Walker Buehler's in there at plus 500, so he's fourth.
Dude, the Dodgers
Love
just
that.
gonna. What was the Dodgers over under? They're just gonna crush everyone.
It was like 41.
No,
I don't love
it
that.
couldn't have been 41, but
Yeah, it was 41.5, I think.
That was 38.
I'll get it up right now.
Get it up. The NL Cy Young stacked at the top. I mean, it's DeGrom, Scherzer, Flaherty, Walker, Buehler. After that, the next best odds guy is Yu Darvish, which, no offense to you, but...
Oh, sorry. The Dodgers was 37.5.
Oh,
But I thought I saw one that was 41.
apologies here if you want it.
My bad.
it's fine. What's 31 divided by 3?
Ooh,
10.3.
yeah.
Cool.
Bingo.
I don't know if what I'm doing
What
is
are
worth
you
it.
doing
Looking
right
up
now?
Gary Sanchez's numbers in July and August because that's
Yeah.
MVP numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this about Trev, but Gary Sanchez, 1, Teddy Bear Gare, 2, cutest guy in the league, 3, hits homers in August. He's got 31 home runs in August and 20 home runs
August card.
in September in 2 seasons, basically.
I mean, he's a slow starter. That's what that tells me.
No, he's got 16 home runs in April and March, 17 in May. He's the second fastest player ever to 100 home runs. Dude hits home runs, but in August, he's got a 1.94 OPS, and in September, an 807 OPS. So plus 5,000. If you want to just, drop $5 and maybe someone finds it and they give you whatever back,
Yeah.
500.
If I told you could place a $10 bet on the fastest AL player ever to 100 home runs, $10 to win 500. I don't know. It's something. Sorry for all the Yankees bias.
It's there. Was there anything else in the MVP? What's the National League MVP?
NL MVP. I know
Betts the favorite in the NL.
Betts is the big favorite in the NL, which
Yeah.
I actually hate.
Yeah,
I mean,
me too.
Switching divisions. I mean, he's obviously Mookie Betts. He's awesome. But dude, give me Acuna and Yelich. Yelich at plus 700. Like, I know those aren't deep cuts, but give me those dudes. Place a bet on both of them.
Why don't you do
he
Goldie
looks
plus 3,000?
I think you're sitting well.
Yelich looks great.
Yelich looks good. Dude. I can't believe that number.
Oh, you know who I like? Plus 4,000?
Yep.
DeGrom.
Oh no.
Do you remember some of DeGrom's 10-game stretches?
Yeah, he goes nuts.
Be like 10-0 with a 0.97.
This is one of the years where I think, obviously a pitcher has won the MVP before, but if there was ever a year where it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? It could happen more. It's
Likely.
Realistic.
Yes, thank you.
No problem.
I think this year the voters are going to be inclined to switch it up because it is a different year. And every game is worth so much that if a guy goes out and dominates, a DeGrom, a Flaherty, whoever it is, goes, call it 9-1 with like a 1-something,
Yeah.
absolutely will get MVP votes, if not win the MVP.
Yeah, in 2018, through his first 12 games, DeGrom had a 1.49 ERA.
That could get it done.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
last
it's
one I
plus
wanted to touch
5,000.
on,
So
Please.
yeah, the last one I wanted to touch on was most regular season homers, because that's a fun one.
Yeah.
And there's some pretty fun numbers, and I think some guys that, you could just take a chance on, throw $10, whatever it is. I'll start.
Please.
And this is a little homer bias for me,
Yep.
but I like the lineup, and I know this player, when he gets pitches to hit, will hit homers, and he's going to get pitches to hit. Miguel Sano
Yeah.
is at plus 2,000. I mean, the guy hit like 36 in 119 games 2 years ago. Like, you surround that guy with Josh Donaldson and Nelson Cruz. I mean, all he has to do is touch the ball. It's gone.
Big boy.
So I'm a big fan of that. I think that's a pretty good bet. If I had to just sprinkle a little cheese on the most regular season homers, I would take old Miguel there.
That's good. I like that. I mean, he's a monster. The guy that stood out to me was Joey Gallo. I mean, Gallo's stupid. I mean, he hit 22 in 70 games last year. So,
Love
we're in the ballpark already.
No,
Well-
the Texas Heat, they turned it down. They cooled it off a little bit. New stadium. Ball ain't going to
New
be flying
stadium.
as much.
I've actually heard mixed reviews on how the ball is flying. So we'll see. That's definitely something you have to take into consideration there.
Him, and this is actually, I didn't have Matt Olson MVP. I actually had Matt Olson here. I think that's more realistic, yeah.
This could go, anyway.
Mike Trout is the favorite in this. He's never led the league in home runs.
I will say this, like anybody
He also
listening
has
to
never
this,
had
like,
20,
just
like, he's
relax
not
on all
a-
these.
What a hot start.
Relax on all these prop bets and stuff. Like this is not where you want to be sprinkling your cash.
Oh,
But just
sprinkle.
for the fun of it,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it.
Cy Young, you got DeGrom leading the National League with Scherzer and Flaherty there, Walker Buehler, all that. The Cy Young in the American League was interesting because they only give you so many players, and Jake and I were talking about it. And Luzardo, the A's
Yeah.
rookie is plus 4,000. He's a rookie.
Let's see it in the show, kid.
Yeah.
It's weird that he comes up. I was like, how do they? People must be betting on him because they think the value's there.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys I'm looking at like, how is that even possible?
It's a storyline.
But yeah, these are all crapshoot again. I don't.
And then the other one that I don't expect any of us to have any takes on, but Rookie of the Year, like I know that I scroll just to see what Vegas thinks and like who's the rookies we should be watching out for. I can't find it on my screen right now, but Gavin Lux,
Yep.
friend of the
Running
program,
away with it.
is running away with NL Rookie of the Year. I think Keyboom's next, but they keep saying they don't even know if he's ready.
Yeah.
So Gavin Lux, and then in the American League, it's Casey Mize and Kopech. Kopech, is that how you say it?
Well,
Kopech.
Luis Robert is leading.
Luis
Luis
Why do they
Robert's
have these
the
in such a
favorite.
weird fucking order? Yeah, Luis Robert already got paid, so.
Watch out for Brendan McKay. He's kind of supposed to be the Ohtani light. If he can, and he's got a little bit of big league experience. We saw him last year. Like, that's the only thing with, like, Luis Robert for me. Like, he could be all the talent in the world, which he's supposed to be. But, if you have a rough month as a rookie, which so many rookies do, like, you're kind of out.
This is even a bigger crapshoot than the rest of it. I mean, you can't rely on any of these guys. They're not proven players.
I know. It's just funny to see who they are.
Know what the big money there is? Nate Pearson on the Blue Jays. Dude's a monster. I think the Jays think this 60 game is a nice window. They signed Ryu. Pearson, I think he hits Hunge casually. Plus 2,000 for a guy that might get 11 starts. I'm there.
Okay.
If he gets a game against the Mets, that'll be fun.
Hunch.
Kopech is
Yeah.
a fun one because we've seen what he can do a little bit. I've faced him in the bushes. He is a gorgeous human being.
Yeah, he's a hot boy.
Yeah, no, you get points in my book if you're a hot boy.
Yeah.
And he's a big, strong hot boy.
Clip
So
that.
yeah, Kopech.
Oh, he's like a long-haired Southern.
Oh, he's a Californian.
Yeah,
No, he's not. I don't think he's from California.
I think he's from the South. Just by looking at pictures of his hair.
Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's a Texas quarterback type.
Yeah, Texas quarterback. That's what he
Gotcha.
looks like. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, big fan.
Look at this. We're just lost in his pictures. Look
He
at
just
this
gave
picture.
so
he
many
knows
picks.
he knows what he's doing too much for my liking.
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it.
He's got it. And the Red Sox got that ring and everything, but if Kopech is the real deal,
He's engaged to the star actress on Riverdale.
Vanessa Morgan.
Oh, this guy's got it. He's
this
got
guy's
all
got
the
it.
confidence in
Yeah.
the world. Gotta love that.
Dude, Kopech and the guy he was in the MVP voting at third base. What's that fool's name? Having a brain fart.
Who?
More info needed.
The guy in the White Sox who's a stud. Juan Moncada.
Yeah.
It was
Juan
Moncada,
Yon.
Kopech, and a couple other dudes for sale. And if Moncada looks like the truth, he's actually got pretty
he a
decent
third
MVP
baseman?
odds. If Kopech is right, man, White Sox did good there.
Oh, yeah. They won that trade. Let me ask you guys. We did a lot of bets right there. A lot of picks.
Bets, a lot of
I
free
think
money.
people are
going
like,
around.
fuck, you just talked about so much. Give
Yeah.
me your best bet that you just talked about. I'd like to do that
The
as
lock.
we end this show. Your lock of the props.
Give us your lock.
My lock is Mike Moustakas hitting over 255.
Yeah.
Okay, so out of ones that we've already said.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
my lock.
Okay.
He's a hitter. And he's going to be in Cincinnati, bro.
It's a good one.
The Natty.
I'm putting that down right now. Lock it up. Mike Moustakas. Not the best value out there because I don't even know what the value is on it. But if one I think is like for sure going to hit, it's this one.
Twins over is the one I think is the easiest for me.
Embarrassing.
I was shocked it wasn't around 36, 37.
I'm Goldie in the Orioles, man. Goldschmidt 275, Orioles under 20.5.
You guys, did you give two, or Jim, or just one?
Just one lock.
I gave 2. I'm a peacock. You know that.
Gotta let him fly, Trev.
I love both my batting average ones.
Do it. Free money, man. Don't
Nope.
shoot scared. Okay.
I'm giving one lock. That's what locks are. You don't just lock up something just to lock it up. You only lock it up if it's a lock. Mike Moustakas over 255 in the 2020 season is a lock.
Okay. Lock
Now
it
I
in,
gotta text
everyone.
him.
So write these down. Keep track of them at home. Embarrass us when we're wrong. And that's the whole gig.
Yeah.
And if you want to ride with us as a company, we're going over 20 homers.
I
We're
do-
still debatable about the 400. We need to talk about that one a little more.
No, we're sprinkling a couple dollars
We're
on
just
it.
sprinkling,
Right.
Trev.
All
We're
right.
rooting for greatness.
Yes.
Okay.
Talking baseball motto.
That is our official
Yes.
motto. We are rooting for greatness. Not
Tyler
striving
Wade,
for
a little-
it, not trying to
No, we're
attain
not
it.
striving
No.
for greatness.
We got any
Just
Tyler
rooting
Wade
for it.
prop bets?
What?
We got any
Ooh,
Tyler
I
Wade
don't know if
prop
he's
bets?
listed.
Yeah, I don't think he's listed on here because he's probably not going to get a lot of time. No,
Yankees are just kind of too good.
no Tyler Wade. prop
Wade
bets.
Davis plus 4,000 for most regular season saves. So,
What if I told
There's
you Tyler Wade prop bet
Oof.
20 runs scored?
looks like me. Under.
All those extra inning runs?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I think that's it, guys. I think we did it. We did such a good job. We hope you have a great 4th of July weekend. Enjoy the family and the sun and the friends. When you get back, it's baseball time.
Here we
Guys are
go.
going to be playing. Camps are going to be going, and we're going to have some storylines and some fun to talk about. So thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you later. Music, music, music.